The Prince of Thorns and Roses. Once, in a kingdom hidden between the folds of spring and sorrow, there lived a boy born with a crown of thorns. His name was Elian. He was the son of Queen Ravel of the Blooming Realm, a land where every season ended in flowers. The queen was beautiful and beloved, her gardens famous across oceans. But her heart, wounded by grief, had never healed, not since her husband vanished into the forest beyond years. When Elian was born, a prophecy bloomed with him. The midwives whispered it aloud in fear, though the queen silenced them with a glance. The child shall walk with roses and bleed from thorns. His love will bloom a curse. His sorrow shall awaken the roots beneath the realm. And so, Elian grew. He was a gentle boy, always trailing petals. Roses bloomed where his tears fell. But with beauty came pain. Around his head, a crown of living thorns never stopped growing. The gardeners clipped it, the healers bathed it, but it always returned, woven tighter, sharper, as though guarding something deeper than skin. He seldom played with the other children, for if they laughed too close, they pricked their fingers. And though his eyes were like honey and his smile as soft as moonlight, the other children feared him, except for one. Her name was Lyra. She was the gardener's daughter, curious and clever, with a birthmark on her wrist shaped like a curling fern. While others avoided Elian, she watched him. One day she found him weeping in the rose orchard, blood on his brow. "Does it hurt?" she asked gently. He nodded. She sat beside him and, without asking, placed a crown of daisies beside his thorns. "It's not your fault you were born with thorns," she said. "Some things bloom that way." From that moment on, Elian was never alone. Years passed, and with them, the roses bloomed ever brighter. Elian and Lyra grew side by side. He, a prince of petals, she, a girl who spoke to roots and read the language of leaves. But peace cannot last where prophecies bloom. On Elian's 17th name day, the earth trembled. From the forest beyond, years, a black vine rose, twisting, coiling, slithering like a serpent. It curled over hills, crushed crops, and whispered in a voice none dared name. At night, people heard it hissing through the leaves. "Return the crown. Return the thorned one." The queen called her seers, her warriors, her wisest elders. None knew what to do. Only the wind brought answers, and they all whispered the same name, Elian. "You are the key," Queen Ravel told her son. "The vines seek you." "But why?" he asked. "I've done nothing." "You were born with a curse," she said, her voice breaking. "Perhaps it was meant for this." Elian turned to Lyra, who squeezed his hand. "We'll go together," she said. The queen protested, but Elian stood tall, the thorns on his crown glinting with dew and resolve. "I would rather face the forest than let it swallow our home." They set off at dawn, guided by the petals Elian shed with every step. The forest beyond years was a place of old magic and older wounds. It was said time bent in its branches and that memories grew on trees. The moment they stepped beneath its canopy, the world shifted. The light turned violet. The trees leaned inward, and ahead, a path of black roses unfurled like an invitation. "Do we follow it?" Lyra asked. Elian nodded. "It's waiting." For 3 days and 3 dreamless nights, they walked. They met strange things. A stag with mirrors for antlers that showed them their truest fears. A stream that sang lullabies in forgotten tongues. A gate made of bones and blossoms, guarded by a woman with no face. At each test, Elian bled, his thorns cutting deeper, his roses blooming blacker. And still they pressed on. Finally, they came to a clearing where the air itself held its breath. In its center stood a castle made of twisted vines and dead flowers, and seated upon a throne of thorns was a man. He was tall, with eyes like cracked soil and robes of rotting petals. Upon his brow sat a broken crown of iron and ivy. "Elien," he said. "Who are you?" the prince asked. "I am what you might become," the man replied. "I am the Thorn King." Elien trembled. "What do you mean?" "You were born of sorrow. Your mother wept you into the world. You carry her pain, her longing, her curse." "I didn't choose that." "No," said the Thorn King. "But you carry it nonetheless, and it has bloomed inside you. Every rose you grow is laced with shadow." Lyra stepped forward. "He is not a curse. He is a boy with too much heart." The Thorn King's eyes narrowed. "Love is a root. It grows or it rots. Let me show you." With a gesture, he summoned a vision. The village of Elien's youth. Overgrown, broken. People lost, crying. The queen, aging and alone. "This is your future," the Thorn King said, "unless you take your place." Place, as heir. The realm of thorns is yours. Rule it and your people will be safe. Refuse, and the vines will spread. Elien looked around. Black roses bloomed in the soil. His own thorns pulsed, as if they heard the call. He fell to his knees. "I don't want this," he whispered. "But it wants you," the Thorn King said. Lyra knelt beside him. "You are not him," she whispered. "You never will be." "I don't know what I am," Elien said. "You are someone who grows roses even while bleeding," she said. "You're someone who chooses kindness." Elien stood. "I will not rule this ruin," he said. "I will not be you." The Thorn King's face twisted with rage. "Then you will be nothing." He raised his arms. The ground split. Thorns shot up, coiling like serpents, lashing toward Elien and Lyra. Elien stepped forward, bleeding, burning, but with every drop of blood, a rose bloomed. He spread his arms, and the roses answered. They grew, not black, but white. Not of sorrow, but of love. They tangled with the thorns, broke them, healed them. The Thorn King screamed, but his body cracked, crumbled, became vines that withered into dust. Silence returned. And then, the forest breathed. Its trees straightened. Its light turned golden. The black vines receded. Elien's crown of thorns fell to the ground. In its place bloomed a single white rose. He turned to Lyra, eyes filled with wonder. "I'm free." "No," she said. "You're you." They returned home to a kingdom in bloom. The people wept and rejoiced. The queen, seeing her son crowned in roses, wept, this time not with sorrow, but joy. Years passed. Elien ruled with gentleness. Lyra became his advisor, and later, his queen. And though he still bore scars, the roses he grew healed more than wounds. They became symbols, that beauty and pain can grow together, that love can bloom even in darkness, that even those born with thorns can shape the world with flowers.